So how does a university go from being a brand new IT institute to a global powerhouse in like just 20 years? It sounds impossible, right? Well, today we're diving into the amazing story of COMSATS University Islamabad, or CUI for short, and its absolutely meteoric rise.
All right, let's just jump right into the rankings because these numbers really tell a story. I mean, look at this. On the world stage with QS and THE, CUI is already playing in the big leagues. But here's where it gets really interesting. Inside Pakistan, it's #1 for computer science and IT and #1 overall, according to the Shanghai rankings. That's not just good, that is absolutely dominant. It's a powerhouse.
So that begs the big question, right? How on earth did a university founded in 1998 climb the ranks so fast? I mean, becoming a major player in higher education in just a couple of decades is, well, it's a wild ride, and we're going to break down exactly how they pulled it off.
Okay, so here's the plan for our explainer today. We've already seen the rankings, which are seriously impressive. Next, we'll go back to the beginning, from IT Institute to full-on university. Then we'll look at their huge campus network, dive into what makes their academics tick, and hear from students from all over the world. And finally, we'll wrap up with their vision for what's next.
All right, first up, we've already got the hook. This is a top-ranked university. Let's dig in.
Okay, moving on. Let's rewind the clock and go back to the very beginning. Every great story has an origin, and CUI starts with a really ambitious idea about technology and Pakistan's future.
And this timeline, wow, it really shows you just how fast things moved. So they kick things off in 1998, and they're not just an IT institute, they are Pakistan's first exclusive one, a laser focus right from the start. And get this, just 2 years later, bam, they're already a degree-awarding institute. Then in 2011, they make a huge move by creating ORC, which is all about connecting research to real-world problems. And the final piece of the puzzle falls into place in 2018 when they officially become COMSATS University through an act of parliament. You know, this isn't some slow, sleepy evolution. This is strategic, it's fast, and it's super deliberate.
But CUI's ambition wasn't just about what they taught. It was also about where they taught. And to really get the picture, you have to understand the sheer scale of this thing. Let's just look at the raw numbers. First up, 8. That's how many campuses they have. It's a nationwide network. And what does that network support? Well, that brings us to our next number, over 35,000 students. 35,000. That makes it one of the biggest and most accessible universities in the entire country.
And who teaches all those students? That's where this final number comes in. Nearly 2,700 academic staff members. The scale of this operation is just massive. And here's where those campuses are actually located. You've got the main one, the principal seat, in Islamabad, of course, but then it branches out all over to places like Abbottabad, Lahore, Waha, Attock, Sahiwal, and Vihari. And you gotta love this last one, a virtual campus. That right there tells you they're thinking about the future and making education accessible in a totally modern way.
Okay, so a huge network is one thing, but it's what's happening inside that network that really counts. So let's pop the hood and take a look at the academic engine driving all this.
So remember how they started as just an IT institute? Well, look at them now. We're talking over 100 degree programs. That's everything from bachelor's all the way up to PhDs. And it's not just IT anymore. They're deep into engineering, sciences, architecture, you name it. They've really expanded to cover all these fields that are just so crucial for a country's growth.
And this is where things get really cool because it shows you their whole philosophy. Their Office of Research, Innovation, and Commercialization, ORIC, has this incredible mission statement: creating endless opportunities by transforming research into prosperity. Think about that. It's not just about publishing papers and getting citations. It's about taking brilliant ideas from the lab and turning them into real businesses, real jobs, real prosperity for the nation. That is such a powerful, action-oriented way to think about research.
All right, buildings and programs are great, but a university is really about its people, right? It's about the community. So let's pivot and talk about the student experience at CUI, because they built something pretty special.
And this is a perfect example of how they support their students outside the classroom. They created the country's first ever Student Startup Business Center. That's huge. It sends a crystal clear message. We're not just here to train you for a job, we're here to help you create the jobs of the future. It's a massive investment in student innovation and entrepreneurship.
And you know, when you build that kind of supportive environment, word gets out. People come from all over the world. Don't just take my word for it. Listen to what the alumni have to say. We have a quote here from an alumnus from Sudan who just nails it.
He says it's the combination of great academics, supportive faculty, and a welcoming social scene that makes CUI special.
Then you have this really powerful perspective from an alumnus from Palestine. He talks about how safe and welcoming Pakistan is, totally different from the image you might see abroad. He says he always felt at home, which is just incredible to hear.
And to top it off, we hear from an alumna from China who calls her experience amazing and fulfilling. She credits the serene and comfortable environment for helping her succeed. So when you put all these voices together, you get this picture of a university that's not just academically top-notch, but is also a genuinely supportive and global community.
So they've got this rock-solid foundation. They've got a global community. So what's next? Where does a university like this go from here? Let's get into our final section and look at their seriously ambitious vision for the future.
Now this is what I call a plan. Talk about clarity and ambition. CUI has literally mapped out its next 15 years. Step 1, within 5 years, lock down a spot in the top 5 universities in Pakistan, and they are already knocking on that door. Step 2, in 10 years, be among the top 100 universities in the developing world. Okay, bigger stage. But then step 3, the 15-year goal, to be one of the top 100 universities in the entire world. I mean, that is bold. It's measurable, and you gotta admit, it's pretty inspiring.
So when you look at the whole story, it's just incredible. They went from this super focused IT institute to a nationally ranked powerhouse with this relentless forward momentum. And when you look at their track record and then see their vision for the future, you can't help but feel like their continued rise is, well, inevitable. It really leaves you with one question. It's not if COMSATS is going to keep climbing the ranks. The real question is, just how high can it go?